up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. Happy Thanksgiving, first of all. I have left you guys in the dark for about a month. I don't really know what I've been doing the past month. I've just been busy, I guess, but not really. I just kind of sit around my house and play with my cat. Oh, my cat almost died. That's where I've been. I filmed 3 videos and I just never edited them. And now it's Thanksgiving, so I feel like I can't post them because they're not relevant anymore. But I'm bringing you guys this Thanksgiving video. I'm gonna show you how to make a Thanksgiving feast using your Instant Pot. You guys know I love the Instant Pot. So I'm gonna show you some holiday recipes. You can also use these for Christmas coming up. And also, do you guys like my shirt? I got it at Salvation Army and it's velvet and it came with shoulder pads in it. If you don't like it, just pretend that you do because it will hurt my feelings. Alright, let's get right into the video. I am gonna first show you how to make mashed potatoes, but these are gonna be healthy mashed potatoes. It's based off of my recipe that I filmed like maybe 6 months ago. It's like 3 side dishes to make the Instant Pot. It is seriously such a good recipe, but today I'm gonna add cauliflower to it so it's even healthier. And I'm gonna show you how to make that along with butternut squash at the same time. Butternut squash is one of my favorite Thanksgiving dishes. Then I'm gonna show you how to make a vegan meatloaf. Let's just get right on into it. So I filmed a video like about a month ago that I was planning on uploading, but I showed you like all the steps to make 2 things at once in your Instant Pot. So I don't know if I should still upload it, but let me know if you guys want to see that video. Okay, so I haven't even prepped our ingredients yet, so I'm gonna do that right now and I'll just do a little time lapse for you guys. Butternut squash and mashed potatoes at the same time. I have our butternut squash at the bottom here and I peeled and I cut it into big chunks, and then on top I placed the little trivet. It just gets wiggled right in there. On top of that I'm gonna place this Ekovana tray. The video that I told you guys about but I never ended up editing, I showed you guys just how to use these Ekovana inserts. I got these off Amazon. I'll link them down below. It's just like stackable trays so that you can make 2 things at one time, but today I'm just going to be using one of them. You can use any sort of like oven safe dish like ceramic or metal. So in this I'm going to add our potatoes, 3 medium-sized Yukon potatoes peeled, and this is 1/2 of a head of cauliflower. If you are not so sure about the idea of using cauliflower in your mashed potatoes, just use more potatoes and less cauliflower, or you could just make these regular mashed potatoes in general. I'm just trying to be a little bit healthier, so that's what that looks like. And to this, I'm gonna add 3 cloves of garlic that I minced. I'm also gonna be adding 1/2 cup of water right into this tray, and that'll just help the potatoes cook faster. In the butternut squash portion, which is on the bottom here, I'm gonna add 2 cups of veggie broth. You could just use water, but I'm just using veggie broth for more flavor. So that's going right on in the bottom. We are just gonna pop in the tray with the mashed potatoes right on top. Okay, so I popped on the lid. Make sure the valve is set to sealing up here. And we're gonna go ahead and press manual for 11 minutes. So while our Instant Pot is cooking away, I'm gonna start prepping the ingredients for our non-meatloaf. And this recipe is actually from Dr. Furman's website. It is his Thanksgiving non-meatloaf. I make it every year, but I kind of tweak it, and it is so good. Even my family members who are meat eaters, which they all are, they love this recipe. So I'm gonna start prepping my veggies. I have some onion that I diced, and I'm gonna dice up some mushrooms and celery, and everything has to be like really small. Okay, so it's been 16 minutes. I'm gonna release the valve. I did a natural release. Yay! Let's see how it turned out. Here is the cauliflower and potato mixture, and remove the stand. We have our squash, and this is going to be way too much water, so we're going to have to drain some of the broth out, but the squash looks absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to take the potatoes and drain out the 1/2 cup of water that's in here, and I'm going to do the same thing with the butternut, but I'm going to save the broth so we can use it again. I'm going to set the squash aside and mash the potatoes first. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of chives minced, some fresh cracked black pepper, and a good heaping of salt. Just do it to your taste preferences. I'm not gonna be adding butter, so salt kind of like helps replace the butter flavor, but you can also add a couple tablespoons of earth balance. We're just trying to keep these as healthy as possible. No, where's the masher? Oh, here it is. Gonna add a half a cup of soy milk. This is my favorite kind of milk. Coconut milk also works really great, so I'm just gonna add a half a cup of that. You can use almond, anything unsweetened with no like vanilla flavoring. And I'm just gonna mash away. Let's give these a taste test. They look so good. And obviously you wouldn't do this if you're serving people, you know, sticking your spoon in there. I love this recipe. Wow, it came out perfect. Okay, let's mash the butternut squash. To our butternut squash, we are going to add some maple syrup. I'm gonna add, about 2 tablespoons. But if you want it really delicious, you should do 3. Next, pumpkin pie spice. You could just add cinnamon, but this has got some extra flavor. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, fresh cracked black pepper, a pinch of salt. I'm using pink Himalayan salt. About like 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon. And once again, you could also use butter, which will make it even more delicious. And now we're gonna mash. And now we mash, 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 and now we mash, mash, mash. Lastly, to make it creamy, I'm gonna be adding some vegan creamer. This is Nut Pod's Original. I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of that and mix it in. I'm gonna scoop out our butternut and put it in this bowl for serving, but the Instant Pot has this great feature called Keep Warm. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. When you're serving guests, you can keep your food in here until it's ready to be served and it'll stay warm. Lastly, to go on top of our butternut, I'm toasting up these raw pecan halves on low heat. They will burn really quickly, so just make sure you keep moving them around and that their heat is low. They're gonna toast up really quickly, just within like 5 minutes, they should be done. And here is the finished butternut recipe. This is seriously one of my favorite dishes for Thanksgiving. It has been ever since I was little, and my dad used to make this, but he would put a ton of brown sugar and butter, and this is just kind of a simpler, healthier version of that. This made kind of a small portion because it was just 1 butternut squash, but you could double or triple the recipe and make it in your Instant Pot all by itself, and you would have way more to go around. Next, I'm gonna show you guys how to make my favorite Thanksgiving non-meatloaf. I'm gonna tweak it a little bit and make it in my Instant Pot, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. This one takes a little bit more steps, so I'll walk you guys through it. The first thing I'm gonna do is put my Instant Pot to saute mode, and I'm gonna adjust so it's in the middle. I'm gonna first start out by sauteing our veggies for the loaf. Okay, so our Instant Pot has heated up. It says hot. First, we're gonna add 1 onion thinly diced. And I'm just gonna give that a stir. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of the broth. Next, I'm adding 1/2 cup of thinly diced celery and 2 cups of thinly diced, is that the word? Or that's thinly sliced? Small diced mushrooms. Give that a stir. Also gonna add 3 cloves of minced garlic. Next, I'm gonna add our seasonings. This is 1.5 tablespoons of Trader Joe's 21 Salute seasoning. You could also use Mrs. Dash. And I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of poultry seasoning and give that a stir. Okay, so while our veggies are sauteing, I'm going to blend up some of our ingredients in the Vitamix. You will need a high-powered blender. I'm gonna be adding 2 tablespoons of arrowroot starch into the Vitamix. 4 tablespoons of veggie broth. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 package of tofu that I was just patting dry in the towel. I'm using firm, but the original recipe calls for soft. Once again, I tweaked this recipe a little bit. I feel like the firm tofu works a little bit better. The soft is just a little bit too wet. Lastly, I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of raw sunflower seeds. The original recipe calls for walnuts, but let me tell you about the walnuts. My cousin is allergic to nuts and accidentally ate some of this loaf and was rushed to the hospital not once, but twice on my family Thanksgiving. So now we have a rule at my family's Thanksgivings that you're not allowed to like put any nuts in the recipe. I felt so bad after that. So yeah, we use sunflower seeds in this house. And I'm just gonna stir up my veggies before they burn. Okay, if your veggies are sticking, just splash in some more broth. And next we're gonna blend up this mixture. I almost forgot, there's one more ingredient. The original recipe calls for like 1.5 teaspoons of Bragg's liquid aminos. That is just not enough sodium for this recipe. It is really bland if you make it according to recipe. I mean, I think it's fine, but like your family probably isn't gonna think it's that flavorful. So I use 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I don't have Bragg's on hand right now, so I'm just gonna use soy sauce. Okay, and I'm just gonna blend this up one more time. Now it's time to just mix all of our ingredients together. So in our veggie concoction, I'm gonna add the tofu and seed mixture. So just scoop that on in there. The last 2 ingredients are 1.5 cups of brown rice and 3/4 cups of breadcrumbs. So for the brown rice, I'm just using this super convenient pre-made microwavable one that I picked up at Ralph's, and it happens to be 1.5 cups. And lastly, this is 3/4 cups of breadcrumbs, and I used Ezekiel breadcrumbs that I toasted and then ran through the food processor. And we're just gonna mix that all together. Okay, so we have our concoction here. And it sounds kind of gross, but you can taste the batter. That way you can season it to your liking. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle in some more of the 21 Salute seasoning just to season this baby up a bit. Give that a good stir. I'm gonna transfer it into this Ekovana dish. You have to wipe it down with a little bit of oil so it doesn't stick to the pan. Splash some oil in there. Take a paper towel and just coat all the sides. And next we're just gonna transfer our mixture into this pot. Okay, so this is what our uncooked loaf looks like. I cleaned out our Instant Pot lining. To the Instant Pot lining, I'm gonna add 2 cups of water. And I'm gonna add our little trivet. And then place the loaf right on top. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pick up this whole lining and set it in the Instant Pot. Pop on the lid. Make sure the valve here is set to sealing. And we're gonna press manual high pressure for 45 minutes. And when it's done, we're gonna do a natural release. And after the natural release, it's gonna take an additional 25 to 30 minutes to cool down. So this guy takes a little longer, it's a little bit more work, but it is so worth it because this loaf is seriously delicious. So I'll let you guys know how it turns out. Okay, so this is what our loaf looks like, fresh out of the Instant Pot. It's been cooling here for about 20 minutes. It'll look kind of funny and jiggly when you take it out of the Instant Pot, but the longer you let it cool, it'll firm up more. Guys so much for joining me in making this Thanksgiving feast in my Instant Pot. If this is a little too late for you guys to make this for Thanksgiving, definitely save these recipes to make them for Christmas or any other holiday or special occasion. Let me know if you want to see more vegan, plant-based, healthy Instant Pot recipes on my channel, and give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you don't leave without subscribing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.